Welcome to Madison HD Sportsnet, presented by the JMU Alumni Association. We're joined by women's soccer head coach Dave Lombardo for yet another coaches show. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
So we're in the midst of the CAA tournament.
Mm-hmm.
We just had a 1-0 overtime win against Northeastern at home. It was very exciting, hard-fought game. Ashley Herndon's 99th minute penalty kick actually was the decider. So talk about that game a little bit.
Yeah, well, Northeastern has been a tough draw for us over the last 4 or 5 years. Since Coach Tracy Leone took over, they've gotten really kind of a winner's mentality going on there. I mean, they're the last 2 defending CAA champs. So we knew it was going to be a battle. They had beaten us earlier in the season here, and the game could have gone kind of either way. They scored on a early rebound off a corner type of situation. We walked away from that game feeling like we could have played better and would have hoped for a different outcome with that. So, we talked about that all week long in preparation for the game, of how we were going to play them and what was going to be different. And we got into the overtime part of this, and goalkeeping was big on both sides. Their goalkeeper came up big a couple of times, and some point-blank saves. Ellen must have dislocated her shoulder to throw an arm out to reach one of them. I don't know how she got to that, but even the goalkeeper coach from Northeastern was standing and cheering that save. That was pretty impressive. But, what I said to them at the beginning of overtime is this has been a team effort so far, but now we need a couple of individuals to rise to the occasion and do something a little bit special. And Ellen made another save in the overtime period. Allie Bunner took a really aggressive raiding run into the box that ended up drawing the foul. She hadn't been doing that throughout the game, and it was just about taking a chance. And anything can happen. She either gets the shot off, and maybe it's a goal, or she gets the foul. In this case, we were lucky that the referee saw it that way. And then, you have somebody like Ashley who is pretty cool under pressure, and she buries that. So we had those 3 individuals really step up in the moment to do something to help decide the game.
That was our 3rd straight overtime game. A lot of players, have been on the field a lot, especially with the William and Mary tie at the end of the regular season. A lot of minutes out there. Is there any concern at all going into the semis about tired legs?
No, we've done a pretty good job of giving them downtime. After the William and Mary game, we basically gave them Monday, Tuesday, and then even Wednesday. Even though we got back together, it was just a pool workout. So I think our coaching staff and our training staff have done a good job of tempering all this. This is the final exam part of the year, so there's not a lot of things that you're going to learn in practice or do extra fitness in practice. Doesn't make sense to do that at this point in time. So we want to get them healthy. We want to get them rested, and then we want to get their minds right in the direction of what postseason is.
So to this point, we've had a lot of great performances. The All-CAA teams will come out tomorrow night. Who do you hope to see on that list?
I would be excited if we had multiple selections in there. We've had a bunch of kids have some pretty strong years. I think the obvious ones for me would be Ashley and Allie Bunner have had statistical noteworthy seasons with that. Ellen is, it's tough with goalkeepers because I think they only select 3. The conference is very good this year. I think we had 7 teams that were in the top 60 or something, RPI-wise. So I would hope Ellen would get the recognition that I think she richly deserves. Then after that, sometimes it becomes the non-statistical players that have an impact. I think Jenny Soroba has had a pretty good season. Allison Bortel was working through some injuries in the front half of the season, but has had a pretty good conference season. So Kelly Kerrigan is one of the league leaders in assists, but she's not one of those players that you walk away from at the game of watching something flashy. She's just a steady performer with that. So I'm hoping we get some multiple recognition out of all that.
Now looking ahead, we do have the CAA semifinals coming up against Hofstra. It'll be the 3rd straight year We play Hofstra in the conference tournament.
Yeah.
So we played them earlier this season as well in the regular season, resulted in a tie.
Right.
So what do you sort of see coming out of that rematch on Saturday or Friday?
I think our kids are going to be very, very motivated. Playing up at Hofstra has been a good place for us to play over the years. I think our last 5 games up there were 3-0-2, including our 2010, excuse me, our 2010 CAA championship was at Hofstra. We beat them there when they had the longest winning streak in the nation at that point in time. So I think they had a 19-game winning streak, and we beat them there. So it's not a place I'm looking at it going, oh, here's a hostile environment for us to be in. Our kids like the area. They've done well there. It's turf. It's different, but I think turf suits us pretty well. We're a fairly technical team, and that is really conducive to playing. So, it's a game that we know that they have a very special player, and then you have to be able to deal with her impact on the game, and then be able to win your other matches across the field. So, we did that for about 84 minutes. A couple weeks ago, we scored a nice free kick goal to go up 1-0, and Leah Galton got free 2.5 minutes later, and now it's 1-1. So, we're hoping we can do some things to generate more offense.
Yeah, as Coach mentioned, the last CAA championship for us was in 2010 at Hofstra. We went on to beat Texas in the NCAA tournament that year as well. So definitely stay tuned to jmusports.com and all social media outlets out there to see how the Dukes do at the CAA tournament. Coach, thanks for joining us.